I think I'm live. It's been a long time since I've streamed live. Feels like it anyway. So if you're in here, sorry about that. If you are in here, let me know in the chat, and I'll try to get everything situated so that I can see what's going on. This is going to be a sales update video. This is like the last couple weeks. Margot, what's up? I'm not going to say Roll Tide. Jim's Jams and Junk is in here. Sorry guys, I've been away for a while from YouTube, but well, I've been on the Tuesday and Thursday morning show with Scott on the Bearded Pickers channel. If you don't watch it, go watch it. But I haven't done anything on this channel. Cindy, see, as soon as I go live, I know Cindy's going to be here, so that's cool. I haven't gone live in like a month, it feels like. The TENS unit was the last time I went live. But anyway, I waited for the Posh Pit to get over so I could go live tonight. Swamp Picker's in here. Scott's in here. Anyway, so I'm just going to go down and Jim and Tara, what's up? Go down the list and show you what I sold for the last couple weeks. This was a $5 purchase at the Salvation Army. This thing was huge. It looks small here, but it was really big. You put bubbles in it, and it blew bubbles. It wasn't in the perfect shape, but it was brand new in the box. There was a handle that went into this hole back here. This sold for the full asking price of 80 bucks plus shipping. This shipping was to me, but I forget where it went, but it would cost significantly more than that, but it was calculated, so they paid it. And no feedback on it, but that was a couple of weeks ago, so it should be good. So if you see one of these and you can get it cheap, they're pretty big, but they have a good resale value. This is a Waterford Crystal gas bar. This picture is horrible. I'm very upset with myself for even posting this picture, but this is Waterford Crystal. Forget when it was made. I paid $15 for this at a thrift store, a local thrift store. Let's see. I didn't even put measurements in here. People who know what this is would buy it. They would know. It did sell for, I took a best offer of 75 bucks on this one. So $15 into 75 plus shipping, not bad. I waited for this thing to go on sale for a long time. They had it at $75 originally at the thrift store, and I waited and waited and waited, and it finally went to $15, and I bought it. This is that, I showed this in a haul video a while back. This is a Shimpo DT-103C digital tachometer. It had the accessories there and the case. This sold for $63.96 plus shipping. Not a bad deal. I paid $5 for this. Didn't know what it was. You don't always have to know what something is to know it's a good deal. This is Rayman. This is for the Sega Saturn. This came with the game, the manual, the case. These games I paid, I think I got 9 games. You'll see a couple of them in the yeah, I know I've been having some really good sales, to be honest. You'll see a couple of the games that I got in this lot, but I paid $10 for this system and all these games. This was the first one to sell. This is a kind of hard to find game. Rayman, Sega Saturn, 60 bucks. Not bad. This is a Franklin NCS-101 spelling corrector. All it does is correct your spelling. I don't know why people still want these things. I had it for quite a while. I paid probably $1.89 at the Goodwill, I believe, for this thing. I sold it for a best offer of $40. It's just a spelling corrector. There isn't much to it. But if you find these sealed like this, they can do really well. This is another part of that Sega Saturn lot. This is a ROM cartridge backup. It's just a memory. It keeps game memory, you know, game saves. It was 512 kilobytes. I've already gotten feedback on this and the Rayman, and both were positive. This one also went for 60. So on that $10 purchase, the first 2 items netted me 120 after shipping and stuff. About 100 bucks so far on that. If you guys find these Cricket cartridges, as long as they're sealed, pick them up. If they're cheap, I paid $5 for this. Sold for the full asking price of $31.96. Cricket doesn't use cartridges anymore. The newer Cricket machines have a cartridge slot. The old Crickets use the cartridges, and they're becoming harder and harder to find. If they're opened, I would pass them up, but if they are new sealed, I would pick them up because they go for pretty good money. This one went for $31.96. Shipped. I think I said I paid $5 for that. This is a, my God, this is a casting mold. This is to make ceramics with. It's not very big, but it makes a Christmas ornament. I picked a whole lot of these up for 59 cents after Christmas last year at the Goodwill. As long as Margot says she sold an open Cricket cartridge for $20, as long as it's not connected to an account, you're fine. But cartridges are connected to, if somebody actually used it. You can disconnect them from an account, but you have to be the account holder. So if you're finding them at yard sales and they're open, I would pass on them, because the buyer is not going to be happy when they can't use it. Nowadays, you have an account straight through their website, and you don't have to have the. I have a Cricket, so when I saw it, I knew it would be some money as long as it was unopened. Not all of them are great. Margot, as long as you didn't get any feedback from that, bad feedback, you're probably all right. But anyway, I picked up a bunch of these for 59 cents, and I sold every one of them. This is the last one I had. I must have had 32 or 33 of these things, so that was pretty good pickup. What's up, John? Polaroid. You know who bought it. I paid $1 for that Polaroid. This is a 1930s brochure or pamphlet or map or guide. I don't know. I just threw it all in the title. Christie stuff. What's up? I took a $10 offer on this. I got it in a whole lot of paper goods for little of nothing. This is a LeBron James Swingman jersey. The Swingman is like one step down from the actual NBA jerseys. I took a $30 offer on this one. The picture was horrible, but it is what it is. I paid $2.89 for this at the Goodwill. It was the only thing I bought that day. Okay, this is, I actually paid up for this. This is a Super Mario RPG, the Legend of the Seven Stars. This is for the Super Nintendo. I seen it at the yard sale. I looked it up on my phone. I priced it high at $124.95, but I did take a best offer of $95. So that one went out. If you can get the tool, always take these games apart so that you can show your buyer, your potential buyer, that this is an official Nintendo game, and they will always have the Nintendo name in there somewhere. You can see it in several places. It's a cheap tool you can buy on eBay for under $5, but I always take them apart on these higher end games, not on the lower end games, but on the higher end games, and show them the board inside, because that's what they want to see. Of course, you want to take good pictures of the box and all that. $15 into $95, not bad. This is a physical examination of the spine and extremities by Stanley Hopenfield. The book had a price tag on it of $73.67, but of course I took a $12 and 99-cent offer, I think, on this book. But we're paying 25 cents for books at the Goodwill, and you can ship them media mail. So when you can do that, it's not bad. The one problem this book did have is, I don't know if I pictured it real well, is it was kind of bent. It's not horrible, but I did mention that in the description. John Deere, I took a $40 offer on this one. The foam was missing. This is not a K brand. It is a Louisville manufacturing company hat. These ones can also do well, but you can see that they'll even sell well without the foam in them. I always say that the foam has been removed if it has, and some remnants may remain, which obviously there's still remnants in there. Pretty cool hat. Not as good as a K brand. If this was a K brand, it would have been a heck of a lot more, but that's okay. I'll take it. I paid 89 cents for this hat. I think. No, 50 cents for this hat at a yard sale. The infamous time clock. So, this one did not arrive in one piece. It arrived in many pieces. I did have insurance. I sold it for $85 plus shipping. It cost $42 to ship, but I'm proud to say that the USPS came through, and I got this today. Filed an insurance claim. If you watch the morning show, you'll see that this thing arrived in horrible shape. This is the shape I sent it in, and it was bad. It was just smashed to pieces, and I double boxed it, bubble wrapped it. I did everything I could to protect it, but the post office didn't think it was as important as me, so they gave me $100 back. So I lost about $20 on this one, which isn't too bad because I didn't have the extra insurance on it. I just went to the $100 because I've never had to file an insurance claim, so I didn't figure. But when you ship through priority mail, you get an insurance policy on your items, and if you can show the USPS, which is really fairly easy to do, that it was damaged in transit, they'll pay the policy, and they approved it like almost immediately. And I got the check in less than a week. So I still made a few dollars on this one, so that's not too bad, even though it arrived broken. And I immediately, as soon as I saw the pictures, I knew it was my time clock. I knew they weren't scamming me. Yeah, it was a really nice time clock at one point, and I paid $10 for this at a yard sale. I'll have to figure out exactly what I made on it. Probably close to 50 after all the rigmarole that I went through. So not too bad though. I mean, and so don't worry about filing insurance claims, and refund your buyer immediately. Just get it done with and file the insurance claim and move on. It was easy. This is, I have no idea what this is. It's a X-Edit command and macro reference book. I couldn't find another one on the internet, so I threw it up for auction at $25.99, got one bid, and it sold. I paid 25 cents for it at the Goodwill. It was in really good condition. It was, I think, 1995, I want to say, was when it was published. Pretty sure it was 1995. When you see things like this, and it says IBM on it, it's older, you know it's probably going to have some value. So I just assigned a value to it, and I sold it. $10.99 for Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem for DS. I paid $1, a little bit less than $1 for all these DS games a couple weeks ago at yard sales. And they're easy and cheap to ship, so I don't mind doing that. And $8.99 for the Cars Nintendo DS. This is a David Winter Cottage. This is a really, really, really super tiny one, so I know it sounds cheap, but $9.99. It cost me $2.66 to ship. It was under 4 ounces to ship, so it's gone. And I've finally into the profit on those David Winters. This was another arbitrary pricing thing. This is a complete Naval Battles Final Fury 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are DOS CDs. I didn't even know they made DOS CDs, but these are DOS CD-ROM. You can see it right there. Couldn't find any other comps on this. There is a newer version of this that works up to Windows XP or Windows 10 or something. Somebody's making copies of this game. So this was the original, and I couldn't find any of the original version online, so I assigned a value of $49.95, and it sold within a couple days. This is a K-brand, but this particular K-brand didn't seem to interest anybody. I had it on auction a couple of times. I had it at a higher price. You can see the K-brand logo there. So I took $12.99 plus $3.75 shipping and got it gone. I thought it was going to be good because it was a farming type thing, but it was Big H Feed. But Big H Feed is, I couldn't find any reference to them online, so nobody knew what it was, so they didn't buy it. This is a 1931 road map of the state highway systems of Ohio. It came in with that Niagara Falls thing. 1931. I took a $20 offer on this old road map. It was put out by the Department of Highway Columbus, and that might be why it had a higher value. But it had holes in it, and I pictured the holes and stated that there were holes. Showed the whole map in the end picture there. And somebody wanted it for 20 bucks. This is the last piece of that Bose system. This is just the power cord for it, $12.50 shipped. Just threw it in a bubble mailer and shipped it. I don't know if you guys are chatting in the chat because the chat has quit on me. So I'm going to refresh it. No. Okay. All right. So vintage Bell Systems Western Electric Rotary Dial Wall Telephone, model 554. This thing was beautiful. It was a really nice phone. You can see from the pictures that it was. You can see my fingers in that picture. Quiet as church mice. Yeah. This phone was in really nice condition. I already got feedback on it. They were really happy with it. This actually said not for sale on the back. This is back when, right there, property of Paydell, not for sale. Lonnie was talking last night. Hey, that's all right. Keep working. Don't let me stop you. 554 is the model number. BMP is just the additional numbers on that. But if you ever see a phone that like this and it says 554 on it, it's a 554 model. But this is probably what sold the phone. The ones that say not for sale on them for some reason go more. This one was made in 1977. You can see right there. It was serviced in 1984, and it had an AT&T sticker on the bottom. That was the worst part of the phone. It wasn't damaged or anything, but it was scratched a little bit. The rest of this phone was beautiful. Sold for $34.95 plus shipping. No, I took a $30 offer on it plus the $9.99 shipping. I paid $2 for this at a yard sale. The next three items went to the same person. You always think my mic is low. I mean, I'll turn it and shit, but I don't think. I think it's your computer, John. Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Because my audio over here seems really good. But $24.95. I sold this one. I sold this one. And I sold this one. All to the same lady. She messaged me asking me if my name was Gleason. And did I know if these were Gleason. She lent her yearbooks to Gleason back in the 60s, and Gleason never gave them back to her, and she was upset with Gleason. And then she contacted Gleason and found out that Gleason's ex-wife tossed her yearbooks, so she bought all mine. What's up, Eric? So $75 worth of yearbooks to one lady, which is pretty cool. These were from 1964, 5, and 6, I believe, from Albion, PA, Northwestern High School. Northwestern High School in Albion, PA. Del Nord or Ovest means the Northwest. I found out. I mean, I can try turning the mic up and stuff. Is that the gain? No, that's the wrong one. Let me play with it. I'm going to make some noise for a minute. It may be where I'm sitting, too. All right, how's that? Okay, so she bought all three. This is the Sega Saturn. Complete oval model tested. This is the MK8000000. Lots of zeros. Launch edition console. It wasn't the prettiest, but it worked well. Came with 2 controllers, power cord, AV cables, all that. This came in that $10 lot. And came in that $10 lot. And let me see if I can turn it up over here. I don't think I can. I think that's as high as it goes. Yeah. High as it goes. I turned up the gain, so maybe that'll help with some of the thing. But anyway, this came in the $10 lot. It worked well. And I already got good feedback on it. So another $80 from that $10 purchase. This is a brand new Lexmark X75 multi-function USB color copier printer scanner, brand new, sealed. It's an older printer, but it had good resale value, so I actually got the full asking price of $100 for this one. I sent it out the other day. I paid $6.89 at the Goodwill for it. It was new open box, but it was all in there and everything was good. So even the ink was in there. 007. This was because the sticker was so bad on it. I could have got a little bit more for this one. But 007 for Nintendo 64, tested, working, clean, $17.99. I probably paid. Well, I got this in a lot of 3 games for $2, so not bad. The other 2 games weren't worth anything, but they came in a lot. This is, you've heard Lonnie and I think even Scott mentioned Starrett tools. This is just a magnetic base, so this red part down here is a magnet. When you push the button there, it'll push on and off. It'll turn the magnet on and off. This part here holds a gauge, and it'll move around. It worked well. I paid $2.99 for this, no, $1.99 for this at the Salvation Army the other day. I took a $45 offer plus shipping and sold it within a day. So that was a pretty cool one. It was neat. This little handle back here makes it lock into position, so that bendy part will bend, and then you can lock it into position there. And all it does is hold gauges. This was a $1 purchase at a yard sale quite some time ago. It is, I don't know how to pronounce any of that. It's a German prayer book. Paid $1, $2 maybe. I think $1 for this one. Very cool book. Came with the original paper wrap, the original box to it. You can see the paper wrapping. From the 1890s, I want to say. 1916. There was a date in there. Took a $20 offer on this one and sold it. Another printer. Don't be afraid of big stuff. Sold this one Friday. I took a $60 offer on this one. Could have got a lot more, but I didn't really want it taking up space. So I decided to take the $60 offer plus shipping and sent this one out this morning actually. Paid $10 for this at a yard sale. It was sealed. It was the original tape and everything. I checked other boxes on eBay just to make sure, and Amazon to see what that seal looked like, and it was definitely sealed. Okay, so this is American Needle Masters logo. So you guys know about the Masters logo stuff. For some reason, this one just didn't want to sell, so I lowered the price to $12.99 plus $3.75 shipping, and it is gone. Sold. I had it up at as high as $25 or $30 at one time. It is a used hat, but it was in good shape. I mean, it didn't look like it'd been worn much. So, I don't know. Maybe it's not golf season anymore, or people don't want it at this time of year for some reason. This one also had for a while, tried to sell it, had it higher, had it lower. I had it on auction, finally sold it. It's brand new with tags. It's a vintage Arizona Diamondbacks hat from the 90s. Nobody particularly wanted this one, so I sold it for $12.99. Gone. Plus shipping. This one I took a $20 offer on just today. This is a St. Joseph Sunday Missal. Some of these do well, some of them don't. This one was in pretty nice shape. It was unused. All the pages were really nice. That picture is blurry. It also had the original, this was like not a bookmark, but a telling you about the book there. So that was still in there. There was some glue or something on the back, but other than that, it was in really good shape. Sent that one out this morning. These I got for free at a yard sale. Today I sold 4 of them. I've had them for quite some time. A couple months anyway, and I've had them at different pricing, but finally somebody gave me an offer of $50 each on these 2, so I sold both of them to the same guy. So 2 of these for $50, so that's $100 there, and sent those out already today. This is a Hamilton Beach 702-1 replacement chopping blade. Bought the whole thing for $1 at an auction a couple months ago, and I finally decided I don't want to sell the whole thing because it just wasn't worth it, but parting it out was better, and $17.99 later I was right. Big Mouth Billy Bones. This is the bonefish one. He's actually pretty cool. He works well. Got a message today that she really wanted this for her grandson. She gave me a $45 offer. I'm into this for like $2, so, or $1. So I took the offer plus shipping, and she paid, and it'll be shipped out in the morning. And 2 more of these. I took $40 on these 2, so I made 80 bucks on this sale. So the same guy who bought the other 2 bought 2 of these. I have 2 left, and I'll take whatever offer somebody wants to give me because they were free. So if you see stuff like this, even if you don't know what it is, pick it up at yard sales if it's super cheap. The guy just couldn't sell them because nobody knew what they were. They were valves, and they sat for quite some time in my eBay store, but they were brand new. And somebody knew what they were and finally came along, gave me the right offer, and I took it. I would have took just about any offer because they were free. The good thing about these is they're small enough. The boxes are small enough to fit in a... Let's see. In fact, it fit perfectly in one of these eBay 8x6x4s. 2 of them fit in there, and on pirate ship it shipped all the way to California, and it was almost 6 pounds for $8.86 cubic rate. So it would have cost a lot more had I shipped it otherwise. So that is it for the sold section of the video. I do want to show you a couple things that I picked up, so let me change views here. Hey, that's me. Am I backwards? I'm probably backwards. Alright, so I'm not going to show you guys everything, but this is a giant tub, and I got to get them all back in there, of postcards. Most of them are from the 60s and 70s. There are some older ones in here. I've pulled out a few that are good. I've been watching a lot of The Auction Professor. If you don't watch The Auction Professor, watch him, and he'll give you an idea what this kind of stuff can go for. There was one item in this box that I didn't see when I bought it, and by the way, I paid $6 for this whole box. There's probably 200 to 300 postcards or more in there, and they're all different. Like I said, all different years, but they were sorted out by state. This is Florida. Most of them are from the 60s and 70s, but they do date back, like that one, to the 1930s. So I haven't really gone through and seen what they are worth yet, but some of them, the ones I pulled out, were worth $20 to $30, a few of them. So I paid $6 for that whole box. This was in there. This is an old 1890s cabinet card, and if you can see, and I don't want to show the back yet, but those are South African folks, and there's 2 white folks in there as well, and they are missionaries. On the back it says the Royal Photographic and Portrait Studio, 21 West Street, Boston. And it's a South African choir. And I'm not going to say the word that starts with a K on there, because that is a derogatory word in South Africa, so I'm not going to say it. But anyway, this cabinet card alone, every time it's sold, has gone for about $100. So I'll get my money back just out of that card. I put it up for a little bit more, but we'll see how it does. Yeah, it was a great deal on that card, but that's not all I got. This is another thing I got from the same sale. It was a bad yard sale weekend until I got to this very last sale that I wasn't even going to go to. These are greeting cards, and a lot of them are Valentine's. That's from the 1920s. There's another one, and these ones are pretty cool. They pop out, and most of them are actually still working and still in good condition. There are baby announcements, a whole bunch of Valentines. Yeah, I'm selling most of these cards individually if they have resale value. Well, the postcards I'll probably lot up by state, I think, unless they have individual value. These cards, like, look how ornate that is, and it pulls out, and you can see that it's still in good shape. It's got the little honeycomb thing on it right there. This one is made in Germany. I don't know if you can see that. These things are awesome. Not a ton of value individually on most of them, but some of them actually are pretty good. But there's probably 200 or 300 cards in here. They're not all Valentine's. Here's the coolest one. It's very fragile. It's huge, but it pulls out just like the others. And there's little ropes and there's little swans. So this one probably has a ton of value, but I couldn't find another one. It's become detached here where the swans are, and up here. But I think somebody could fix that and still use it. I'm going to ask probably 50 bucks just for that one. That whole box cost me $10, but there was also these kind of things in there. This one is a Christmas card to a wife in 1940s. This one, she's got an actual real ribbon on her, and it's talking about how she keeps up the morale on the home front. That's the inside. This one is unmarked in the back, just says made in USA. My favorite card out of the whole lot is this one. This one is a vintage Norcross from the 1940s. It's to the sweetest or swellest wife in the world. Yeah, I love this old ephemera. It's easy to store, it's easy to list. When you open this card, it pops up, see? Some of these vintage Norcross cards can do really well. This is an old kitten, and it's got real feathers on it. This one's vintage, really old, 1940s Hallmark. Let's see, you can see that logo on there. And this one's from 1939. This is like real fabric here, and it opens. There's foil, it's foil lined, and it opens there, and it's got a globe in it. This is a vintage Rustcraft card. So those are the names. There's Gibson, there's Rustcraft, there's Norcross, there's A&W is one of them. This one is A&W, I didn't show that one. And there's JP. So I'm still in the research phase on a lot of these, but I think a card like this one could go in the $40 to $50 range. I put them on auction just to see. This is probably closer to a $10 card. Some of those Norcross cards, like that are odd, can go for a lot of money. So this could be a $30 to $40 card. And who knows on this? Who knows? But I paid $10 for the entire lot, and there's like probably 200-300 cards in there. So I was not first to that sale. I wasn't even close to first to that sale. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. How do I ship them? Of course I'm getting a message while I'm on. I will take and put them in a bubble mailer with like corrugated around them, but I'll also put them in a plastic. I got this sealer back here. I don't know if you can see it. So it's a, there we go. You can seal plastic bags with it, so I'll put them in one of these little plastic bags that you get from Walmart, the bagel bags, and then I'll take one of the eBay bubble mailers, and then on the outside of the card, or on the outside of the plastic bag, I'll sandwich it in between a couple pieces of corrugated. So that sealer cost me $1 at a yard sale this weekend. So, and I've been using the heck out of it. It works great. It came with an extra heating element. I love the sealer. It works great for me. Keep looking at yard sales, Margot. You might find one. I was surprised to actually find one because I've been looking for one. That one's small. I wish it were a little bit bigger, but it does what I need it to do, so that's all that matters, right? So that's about it for tonight. I mean, I wanted to show off all my good finds from the weekend, and really that was it. I did find, let's see if I can, a golf GPS, and I have a hard time finding this particular model. It should come with software, which I don't have, but I'm thinking $30 to $40 for that. I paid $5. I found, and I'll show you what I can do with it here. So I can make my own little bags with the sealer. So I did that. I found this Sony Walkman. This should go for, yeah, I wish I had I don't like Ziploc bags. To me. Now, to anybody else, it's fine. But to me, they look unprofessional. And if I can actually seal something in my own bag like that, it, you know, it looks more professional to me. Now, if I didn't have the sealer, would I use... is it okay to shout out to Ephemera channel? Shout out anybody you want. But anyway, so I can make my own little bags. But this is a Sony Walkman. This one should go for about 35 to 40. And I also got... Let's see if I can find it. You can see I've been playing with my sealer. This with all the car kit and everything. So this is also a Sony. Should go for about the same. Yeah, Joan Redding says, "Hi Steve, still selling greeting cards. I bought it in an auction in 2011. Very good buy. I paid more, but that's all in the game." Right. The good thing about these greeting cards is there's a buyer. Well, I mean, what's the old saying? There's an ass for every seat, and somebody will buy these greeting cards after time. All I need to do is sell one card for $10 to get my investment back, and then, you know, this is all the room it takes to store all the cards. That's it. And this box is probably actually worth something. It's an old baby blanket box, but you know, when you're buying small items that are easy to store like that, it cuts down on inventory. I'm not afraid to buy the bag merch as you go. Cuts into your nap time. Yeah. Now, I was listening to the auction professor the other day, and he was talking about how, you know, he's had things up since 2011, 12, 13, 14, whatever. But there's no storage space involved in that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff, throw it up, list it good till canceled. Now, I put all these first set, the ones that I showed you, on auction just to see how they go, because I'd like to get my investment back right away. After that, once I do more research, I will figure out how they sell better. Yeah, I like the auction professor most of the time. I don't agree with everything he says, but as far as vintage postcards and paper ephemera, that guy is an amazing resource, you're right. And he knows his stuff. Would he know how to sell vintage electronics? Maybe not, but he certainly knows his paper. And he was into selling clothes just like a lot of us started. He started with clothes on eBay and moved to paper, and that's where I plan to go more. I like selling the other stuff. I like the video games. I like that stuff. I like old hats, so I'll stay with that stuff too. And I'm not afraid. I'll make money on anything. The auction wizard. I've been listening to the auction professor longer, so there was no auction wizard. What's up, Angela Barney? Fishing for treasures. Anyway, so sorry, Angela. I'm about ready to shut it down. It's getting late, and I have to use the bathroom. So I'm going to shut it down for tonight. Anybody else going live? If you are, I'll watch when I get back. So see you guys in the morning. Tuesday and Thursday mornings, Scott the Bearded Picker's channel, so the Bearded Picker, and come watch us 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, and you can figure out the rest if you're in some other part of the country. So we'll see you then. And now I got to figure out how to stop this thing again. Stop streaming.